Have you ever made a snap judgment about a stranger, only to realize later that you were so wrong it turned your whole world upside down? Imagine turning away someone who could transform your life overnight, without even knowing who they were. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, stick around, because this story about Ivanka Trump's unexpected visit to a high-end boutique in Beverly Hills might just blow your mind. Welcome to La Voga, an ultra-luxurious boutique on Rodeo Drive, the iconic street famed for its designer shops and celebrity sightings. Picture a sleek storefront with floor-to-ceiling glass doors framed by glossy, black marble columns. Inside, soft classical music drifts through the air while jewelry and handbags glitter under pristine spotlights. No fingerprints on the display cases, no clutter on the floor, every inch of La Voga screams exclusivity. And at the center of it all is Valerie, the store's manager. She's tall, impeccably dressed in a tailored navy pantsuit, and fiercely protective of the La Voga image. Her number one rule: never let anyone tarnish the brand, especially if they don't look like they belong. But what happens when you think someone doesn't belong, only to realize they have far more power and influence than you ever imagined? Stay with me, because this is where our story really takes off. It was a typical Tuesday morning. Valerie was stationed near the entrance, scanning every newcomer. Her staff, wearing matching black uniforms, moved around quietly, offering private consultations to well-heeled clients. Just another day at work, or so Valerie thought. That's when the doors opened and she walked in, a tall, elegant woman wearing a simple cream coat and oversized sunglasses. Her heels clicked against the polished marble floor with a soft confidence. She didn't look like the usual, designer bag in hand, entourage following close behind, type. In fact, her outfit was almost too understated for Rodeo Drive. But there was an aura about her, a kind of poise that can't be faked. Valerie's instincts flared up. She doesn't look like a serious buyer, Valerie thought, her eyes narrowing. She approached the woman with a guarded smile. "Good morning, ma'am," Valerie said. "I'm afraid we have a private shopping appointment soon. I'm going to have to ask you to leave unless you have an appointment scheduled." The woman lowered her sunglasses, revealing clear, determined eyes. For a heartbeat, Valerie felt a flicker of recognition. But she pushed it aside. "I won't be long," the woman replied gently. "I just wanted to look around." Valerie's polite mask hardened. "I'm sorry, but we're a by-appointment-only establishment. Perhaps another time." Without a word, the woman slipped her sunglasses back on and walked out, the click of her heels echoing through the boutique. Valerie watched her go, convinced she'd done her job, protect the brand. Yet a strange unease tugged at her. Who was that woman, really? At first, Valerie brushed the incident aside. She'd seen plenty of wannabe influencers and curious tourists who misunderstood La Voga's exclusivity. But the next morning, a junior sales associate named Brittany approached her with hushed excitement. "Valerie," she whispered, eyes wide, "that woman from yesterday, someone said it was Ivanka Trump." Valerie's jaw almost dropped. Ivanka Trump, successful entrepreneur, former White House advisor, author, philanthropist, and a name nearly everyone in America recognizes. Could she really have turned away that Ivanka Trump? Brittany continued, "One of our clients had a photo on their phone, standing next to Ivanka at some charity event. It's definitely her." Valerie tried to remain calm. "It doesn't matter who she was," she insisted, though her voice wavered. "We have policies." But as the day wore on, she couldn't shake the feeling that something huge was coming, and that she had just made the biggest mistake of her career. "Think it can't get any worse? Just wait until you hear what happened next." Whispers turned into full-blown chatter. By noon, customers and staff alike were buzzing with the rumor that La Voga had just kicked out Ivanka Trump. Although no one had publicly named the store yet, social media was on fire with posts like, "A certain Beverly Hills boutique refused Ivanka Trump because she didn't look fancy enough." Talk about judging a book by its cover. Valerie's phone wouldn't stop lighting up with notifications. A few local tabloids hinted at the story, though they hadn't confirmed which boutique was involved. For a moment, Valerie thought maybe the backlash would die down on its own. Then came Friday afternoon, when Ivanka Trump decided to return in spectacular fashion. It was peak shopping hour. The boutique was crowded with high-profile clients browsing the racks. Valerie was at the cashier's counter, trying to maintain her usual air of control, when the doors swung open. This time, the same woman walked in, but now with a small entourage, a couple of discreet yet intimidating security personnel, a polished-looking publicist, and another assistant carrying a sleek portfolio. Outside, photographers snapped pictures through the glass. The atmosphere in La Voga shifted instantly. Shoppers stopped in their tracks. Staff members froze. Valerie felt her heart pound against her ribs as Ivanka Trump, yes, that Ivanka, met her gaze. But Ivanka's expression wasn't angry. It was calm, self-assured, strong in a way that only someone who's used to holding her own on the global stage could manage. "Good afternoon," Ivanka said in a measured tone. "I'd like to have a look around now. Is that allowed?" Valerie's face grew hot. She could only nod and step aside, her throat too tight to speak. Customers whispered among themselves, fully aware they were witnessing a high-stakes moment. Will Ivanka Trump forgive and forget, or is she about to deliver the ultimate retaliation? Keep watching to find out. Ivanka strolled through the boutique, pausing at the jewelry section where Annie, a fairly new sales associate, stood ready to help. Annie offered a polite smile, though her hands trembled slightly. Ivanka pointed to a stunning diamond necklace, each stone glinting under the spotlight. "May I see that piece?" she asked, her voice respectful yet undeniably commanding. Annie carefully removed the necklace from the display case, placing it on the counter for Ivanka to examine. "It's one of our finest," Annie said, her nerves showing in her voice. Ivanka nodded, turning her gaze briefly toward Valerie, who hovered nearby like a guilty shadow. "What do you think?" she asked, directing the question at Valerie. Caught off guard, Valerie's voice cracked. "It's beautiful. Truly one of a kind." Ivanka gave a slight, gracious smile, then slid a black credit card across the counter. "I'll take it," she said. As Annie rang up the sale, Ivanka turned once more to Valerie. Her tone stayed calm, but her words were precise. "Respect is something we owe everyone, don't you agree? Especially when we don't know who they really are." A hush fell over the boutique. Valerie felt her cheeks burn with shame. Before she could muster a reply, Ivanka gestured to her publicist, who handed her a crisp white envelope. "This is for your staff," Ivanka said, placing the envelope gently into Valerie's hands. "They've been professional and gracious, particularly Annie here. Consider it my way of saying thank you." Valerie's hand trembled as she took it. Meanwhile, Ivanka turned to Annie with a warm nod. "You've been wonderful," she said softly, then exited the boutique with her entourage in tow. Outside, cameras flashed in a frenzy, capturing every moment. Inside, La Voga was left in stunned silence. But hold on, the story's not over yet. Wait until you hear what Valerie does next. Once Ivanka was gone, conversations erupted. Some customers left quickly, likely eager to tweet or post about their brush with a viral moment. The staff gathered in small clusters, exchanging wide-eyed glances. Valerie, however, quietly retreated to her office, envelope in hand. She opened it to find a check made out to the boutique employees, a generous amount that could cover substantial bonuses for everyone on the team. Ivanka Trump had turned what could have been a humiliating moment of revenge into a lesson in kindness and humility. Valerie sank into her chair. She was proud of her reputation for protecting the brand, but she realized she had mistaken exclusivity for coldness. In trying to uphold an image, she had dismissed Ivanka Trump, someone known not just for her global influence and business acumen, but also for her charitable work and advocacy for women. And Ivanka had returned, stronger than ever, not to humiliate Valerie, but to remind her what true respect looks like. The next morning, Valerie called an all-staff meeting before opening. Her voice shook as she addressed her team. "I owe each of you an apology," she began. "In my rush to judge a customer by her appearance, I made a mistake that could have cost our boutique everything, and I'm sure it didn't feel good for any of you either." She held up the check. "Ivanka Trump left this for us. It's a testament to how gracious she is, even after what happened. I want each of you to share in this, because you deserve it. But more importantly, I hope we've all learned that luxury should never come at the cost of kindness and respect." Annie, who'd helped Ivanka, offered Valerie a small smile. "Thank you for saying that," she said softly. "We're all in this together." From that day on, the boutique's strict rules about who belonged softened into a more welcoming approach. Valerie still upheld high standards, but she became more attentive to the person behind the clothes, or the lack thereof. The staff noticed a kinder, more open manager leading by example. And the store's reputation? Ironically, it soared. People admired how La Voga had owned up to its mistake, spurred by none other than Ivanka Trump herself. So, how would you have handled that moment, had Ivanka Trump, or any prominent figure, walked into your business? Sometimes, life gives us a second chance to do the right thing. Are you ready to embrace it when it comes your way? If this story struck a chord with you, leave a comment down below. Share your thoughts or a personal experience you've had about judging someone too quickly. And of course, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life stories that remind us of the power of kindness and the importance of seeing beyond first impressions. Because at the end of the day, true exclusivity isn't about shutting people out, it's about showing genuine respect to everyone who steps through your door. And sometimes, that respect comes back to you in ways you never would have imagined. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.